Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Radhika and we're going into 2022. Like, where has this year gone? I have no idea what I've even done this year. Like, it's literally, I've just been trying to reflect and be like, what I've actually done this year. But I wanted to talk about some of the habits that I've started in 2021, maybe even a little bit before that. I'm going to continue into 2022. Whenever I have like random conversations with people, they're like, oh my god, you actually do that every single day? And I'm like, yeah, because it's honestly a game changers for me, and I just wanted to share some of them with you because it might be a game changer for you. So let's get straight into it. I was like never a fan of New Year's resolutions. Like, I would write them and it was something that was taught at school anyway, but I'd write them and then by like the 10th of January it was gone. And I don't know if it's like the same as you. When I used to work at a gym and everyone would be in the gym and it would be jam-packed in Jan, and then it would just be empty for the rest of the year. Like, going into the gym in December, actually I've seen more people going into the gym in the last few days than I have before, but like the first weeks of December were just empty, like no one was in the gym. So yeah, like, let's see how long New Year's resolutions start. But just because you want to create something doesn't mean you need to start or wait till Jan 1st. Like, you can start on that specific day to just start implementing them, because apparently it takes like 30 days or something like that to build a habit. So just get into this habit of starting habits earlier, I guess. What I wanted to talk about is gratitude. So if any of you have read Miracle Morning, and it's something that I was doing as part of some property people that have put Miracle Morning together. If you want to join, just drop me a DM on Instagram and I can like introduce you to the right people. But it was at 6 a.m. every single day, and it honestly was a game changer because I'd get so much done in the morning. But recently I've just been a bit lazy and just not kind of attended any of them, and haven't for a while anyway. And it was like, yeah, it was just one of those. But one of the things that it definitely taught me was to write 3 things that I'm grateful for that happened the day before. And it could be anything, and it could be something small, it could be something big that's happened. Like, I don't know, especially during this like festive period as well, like, what are you grateful for? Like, I'm really grateful for spending time with my family, etc., not catching COVID. Like, that's a big one. Touch wood, I don't, because I just don't want to. But just writing 3 things, and sometimes I'd say them in the shower if I'm not writing them down, but definitely just writing 3 things that have happened the night before. And I started writing it in a diary so that next year, so when I'm going through it, I can actually write down, I can actually see what I was grateful for, and then I might just add to that one and just have like a 5-year list or something like that, and then just reflect on it every single year, be like, oh my god, I did this. And it's a great way for me to remember things because I have crap memory, like honestly it's so rubbish. It's just a great way for me to be like, oh, these are the small things that happen. It doesn't matter about the big things that happen, it's about the small things that happen, which I kind of like, I'm really happy for, and I've written them down. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. But that's definitely something I would definitely want to carry on. I need to get into the habit of writing it down every single day, because sometimes I just say it in the shower or just like other random parts of the day when I'm reflecting. But yeah, just getting into the habit of writing it down every single day. The next one is probably an obvious one, but it's reading. And I've got a habit of listening to Audible or listening to a podcast, but for some reason just haven't been reading as much as what I'd like to be reading. So I definitely want to kind of take that on board going into 2022, and like something that I have been kind of implementing over the last few weeks when I've had more time. But when I'm super busy, like, I just don't have time. But I could sit there listening to a podcast or something whenever I have some downtime or going for a walk or anything like that. But obviously podcasts and reading are not like the same thing, so it really depends. But I definitely want to get into the habit of reading more. And if you guys have any book recommendations, please let me know, because I'm always looking for new books to read, and they have to be non-fictional. I don't read fiction, by the way. Like, I don't think I've ever read a fiction book, maybe Harry Potter, like the first one, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, if you have any recommendations for non-fiction books, please let me know. The third one for me is saying no. I've got into such a good habit of saying no, and I used to have such bad FOMO, especially at university and before then. And if I was getting invited to things, I'd get really bad FOMO, and it wasn't okay. Like, it was really bad. But I got into the habit of saying no to so many people, and I've lost a lot of friends through it, and I've probably stopped speaking to as many people, but they just weren't like serving a purpose in my life. And I don't say that in like a negative way, but you have like your close friends and you have like acquaintances, but some of them I've just kind of lost contact with because we just didn't see eye to eye in terms of like when I was saying no because I was doing property stuff, or like I had other stuff to do as well, like, or if I'd stay back late from work or go to the gym and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely saying no going forward, but there's things that I definitely will say yes to, and I think it's important to have a social life as well. Like I did all of that stuff when, you know, when I first started property. I like scheduled in so much and saying no to a lot of stuff, and I was burnt out so much. But now I'm trying to, since I've got all the process and everything in place and I know exactly what I want and what I need to do, it becomes so much easier. I don't need to spend as much time on it or like pretend to look busy because of social media or anything like that. So yeah, definitely scheduling in no time, but also kind of scheduling in the things that I think are important for me to build relationships and to have fun. Like we're all here, we need to enjoy the journey as well, not just be like so burnt out that you hate everything. Fourthly is to exercise outside, whether it's going for a walk, and this is predominantly going for a walk. I don't think I've done any other exercise apart from maybe go for a small run and play netball obviously, but I definitely want to start, like, I have been getting into a habit, especially over summer working from home. It's so much easier to go for a walk. In the winter it's so hard, like I hate it. I hate going outside for a walk in the winter, and I haven't really been doing that. In the summer definitely, and in the spring definitely, but yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm going for a walk, and it's a great chance for me to like listen to a podcast or listen to a book or catch up on a YouTube video or something like that, or if someone sent me something, or even like creative times. I know this sounds like really crazy, but like I get really creative when I go for a walk, so I'll just be thinking of like random things, and this could be with social media, it could be with property stuff, like how can we be creative, whatever's going in my mind. And like sometimes I'd like literally have a conversation to myself and my mind would just wander, and I just let it wander for a bit because it's so important to have that creativity time. I can't remember what book this was in or where I listened to, but someone had a chair and they would literally like sit there quietly in the morning and just let their brain like just go. And I think it's so important that you get those ideas down. So yeah, that's something I definitely want to do, is like schedule in those walks, listen to a podcast, or just let my brain wander. And lastly, and this is something I have to thank my property coach for, is to schedule in me time. So I really struggle with time management, and I used to struggle with it more than I do now. But one thing that I definitely wasn't focusing on was me. Like I was doing everything else for other people, or focusing on my business, work, gym, etc. But I just wasn't scheduling a me time. Like what did I want to get out of that day for me? And that could definitely mean like going to the gym, or making sure that I work out, or having a coffee and just like chilling, or watching Netflix. Like I'm not saying no to Netflix, like I love watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever it is, but just making sure that I'm scheduling that me time, so I'm focusing on myself and being happy and enjoying that time. So yeah, definitely that is like has been a game changer in the last year for me. I feel more happy, I feel more productive, I'm doing things for me and just learning that. And sometimes we get into this habit where the graft isn't enough, like we're grafting with bigger goals, bigger ambitions. As soon as you hit one, like I'm constantly changing what my targets are, what my goals are, and sometimes it's just never enough. So like making sure that you're enjoying the journey, so that one day it will be enough and you can reflect back and be like, I did get to enjoy it. But it's still at the same time, like I'm not saying not to work hard, because I work so hard. Like people don't even understand like how hard people work, and with social media etc, so easy to be like I do nothing, which isn't true. So just scheduling in me time, but even if it's like half an hour, 20 minutes, like even going for a walk or having a coffee or just watching TV or something like that, like has been a game changer for me. So yeah, that's definitely something that I definitely need to carry on in 2022.